So most pressure washing businesses never make it to £5,000 and £10,000 months. And that's absolutely fine if you just want it to be a lifestyle business and money isn't your kind of main goal. But if you're sitting there and thinking that you'd love to hit £5,000 or £10,000 months with your pressure washing business and you're wondering why it's not working for you, this video will hopefully help you because I'm going to touch on some of the points that are big stumbling blocks for most businesses in this industry. Let's give it a go. So following on from what I just said, I want to make it clear that I'm not saying if you don't hit £5,000 or £10,000 months with your pressure washing business that you're a failure, your business is a failure, or you're doing something wrong. A lot of people in this industry just have it as a lifestyle business. So maybe they just hit what they need to each month to pay the bills. Maybe they work it around their job, do it on weekends, whatever. That's absolutely fine. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with doing that. But I do know that there's a lot of people in this industry, because I get messages a lot saying, how can I get to these 10k months? Because it's battered around a lot on social media and stuff. And I've mentioned it in my videos before, and it's never to show off that I've hit these £10,000 months before. It's to motivate people and to give people pointers of how they can do it as well. But if you just want it as a lifestyle business and you don't want, you're not that bothered about making £5,000, £10,000 months, that's absolutely fine. Nothing wrong with that. But a lot of companies do. So in this video, hopefully some of the things that we touch on will help you take a few pointers away. And if you're thinking about just starting a business now, spring is around the corner. Lots of people are starting up now. You can take some of these things that I'm going to mention too and fast track it and avoid making these mistakes. Hopefully you can hit these goals quicker. Because if you think about it, if you can hit £5,000 and £10,000 months regularly, every month, you'll quickly have a six-figure business, and that's life-changing for most people. So let's get to it. I'm going to dive into it now, talk about some of the things that I come across a lot, and hopefully some of the ways that we can avoid it. So let's get into it. So number one for me is not knowing your numbers. And I was really guilty of this. Probably up until last May, I think, when I first started working with my mentor, I've mentioned him before, Matt Brookfield. One of the first things he said to me when we sat down was, do you know your numbers? And I kind of was like, maybe, I don't know. But I didn't. The reality was I didn't. And most people who run a business in this industry don't know their numbers. And by numbers, I mean, first of all, your expenses. So what do you need to earn just to break even? So we're talking things like your van, if you pay monthly, diesel, van insurance, business insurance, petrol for your pressure washer, chemicals, marketing, websites, anything like that. I probably missed out loads of them, but you get the idea that if you don't know what that's all costing you each month, you're in trouble. And also, how much do you need to earn for you to pay your bills? Because obviously you didn't get into this business just to get by, you wanted to make money. So how much do you need to earn to pay your own personal bills? What can you draw from the business each month? And I didn't know these numbers at all. So when Matt broke it down for me, it kind of opened my eyes and I was like, wow, if I can sort this out, I can know then what I can charge. Because when you don't know your figures, like most people don't, because the reality is most people work in the business, not on the business. They act like cleaners and not like a business owner. Guilty, like I said, I was guilty of it massively before. But when you change that mindset and you start thinking of what you need to earn and then what you can earn, it changes your business. For example, when you know your business, so all your expenses added together, what you need to earn to have the lifestyle that you want, add them together, and then add 20% for tax, and you know the figure that you need to earn each month then. But when you don't know the figures, when you're just guessing, when you're just going job to job, not tracking anything, it can lead to things like underpricing. So you can massively underprice jobs because you're thinking, oh, I don't need to charge that much. I haven't got that many outgoings. I haven't got that many expenses. And then you get to the end of the month and you've not made as much as you want to because there's loads of outgoings that you've not tracked. And that's a big one. So that's a big one for me, is not knowing your numbers, because it can lead to things like I just said, charging the wrong rates and not being able to grow. So if you're sitting there and you don't know your numbers, get a pen and paper or a spreadsheet, write down every single expense for your business, and then write it all down, tot it all up, tot in what you want to earn for the year, add that in, and then you know your figure. That's your break-even figure then. So that's figure number one. Then your next figure now is how much. So let's just say you want to earn £10,000. How many jobs is that a month? So let's do a little calculation here. So I've just got my phone here. I mean, it's probably a basic thing to do, but let's say £10,000 and you offer pressure washing, you offer just driveways and patios for now. Let's not go into roof cleaning yet. So the average cost would probably be £250. So that's about 40 driveways. Do you know that that's the case, did you know if you want to earn £10,000 that you have to do about 40 driveways at least to hit that 10k figure? If you're a roof cleaner, I mean, it's a bit easier. But if it's £1,000 an average job, let's just say, you need 10 jobs to hit that £10,000 month. If you're doing just gutters, then this is when it gets a bit harder. We'll get into this in a bit. But £10,000 average gutter job, I don't know, let's say 120 quid. It varies everywhere. That's like 84 gutters you've got to do. So you get what I'm trying to say there is you need to know how many, work out your average ticket value for each job of the service that you provide. And then obviously divide that by 10,000 into that, and then you'll know how many jobs you've got to do each month. So all of these things, if you're not thinking of everything together, your expenses, your break-even rate, how many jobs you got to do to hit 10k, it's not going to happen for you. It's not going to happen for you, is it? Because you haven't got the foundations in place there to be able to hit these numbers. So get your numbers right, and then you can build on it then, and it'll be much easier to know how to hit those 10k months and what to charge when you know these things. So that's number one. So number two is poor marketing. And if you've watched my videos before, I go on about this kind of stuff a lot because for me, it's the most important thing for any pressure washing business owner. And I say it a lot. I'll say it again. I'll say it till whenever. Marketer first, cleaner second. Too many people in this industry, pretty much everyone, are cleaners first before they're a marketer. So they're only thinking as a cleaner. They're only thinking about how to clean a surface. They're only thinking about the chemicals. They're only thinking about the equipment. They're not thinking about the bigger picture. How can I get these leads in? Because going back to what I just said in the last point, let's just say you need 40 driveways a month to hit £10,000 months. Well, okay, that's fine. So how many leads do you need to get to convert 40? Because it's probably going to be 1 in 5, 1 in 6 maybe. So you can see if that's 1 in 5, 1 in 6, and you need 40 driveways, how many leads you need each month. So how are you getting those leads into your business each month? And the reality is most people don't think about it. They'll just post on social media every now and then. They might like boost a post on Facebook, put a tenner behind it, posting like these neighborhood groups, word of mouth, just relying on word of mouth or leaflets. Those things are fine, but they can't be your main marketing method because it's not predictable or it's not reliable. So if you're doing the bare minimum, the bare bones of marketing, how on earth are you ever going to hit these £10,000 months? Unless you've got the best reputation and it precedes you and you just constantly booked up because of how good you are, which is great if you are doing that, but it's rare. Word of mouth and reputation and repeat referrals and stuff, they definitely come into play. They can't rely on it. And if you're relying on leaflets each month by putting a few leaflets through a door, you're never going to hit it. It's not going to happen. Yes, it's a good strand to have for your marketing methods and your marketing plan. But if you're not running consistent paid ads and getting consistent leads into your business, like I said, if it's 1 in 5, 1 in 4, you need 40 leads. What is that? I'm pretty rubbish at maths, but what's that? 200 leads. If you're just offering driveways and patios, 200 leads. How can you get 200 leads in? Well, you can get 200 leads in by running Facebook ads, because if you know your cost per lead is about £5, then you just times 5 by 200, assuming your ads are set up correctly. That's what you got to spend. That will get you in. That will hit you £10,000 a month just by doing that. So running paid ads, predictable, repeatable. You know what's going to come in. You know roughly your conversion rates, and it will just get you to that £10,000 mark much quicker than just relying on word of mouth and referrals, because you can't guarantee that and you can't really track it too much. So, and again, it's not just paid ads. Paid ads is the one that I champion a lot because it's the easiest one for me that works. But are you posting regularly on social media, like really good content? Are you keeping your website up to date? Are you making sure your Google My Business profile is up to date? Are you posting regularly on there? Are you running paid ads? Have you got enough leaflets going out? All of these things combined, if you do all of these things together really well, really, all your methods of marketing, all your different ways of doing it, if they're all done really well and you're investing in it, there's no reason why you shouldn't hit the £10,000 month, because the leads will constantly be coming in. So focus on your marketing more so than your cleaning, in my opinion. I always say you have to do a good job, but don't worry about that. Once you know how to clean a drive, or you know how to clean a roof, you know how to do that. Don't worry about that. Focus on the marketing, get the leads in, and you'll know how many leads you need to get in each month to hit £10,000, and that will do it. And this brings me on to the next point, which is inefficient systems. So systems in a business are the key to growth and the key to predictable growth. Let's talk follow-up system first. So I just mentioned all those leads you're getting in each month. So let's just say you need 200 leads a month, which is a lot of leads, right? What's your system for getting back to those people and booking them in? Even before booking them in, what's your system to getting back to them and giving them quotes and getting in touch with them? Because I've said this a lot in my videos, speed to lead is a huge, huge thing in this industry. Any service-based business, especially with paid ads and stuff, you're interrupting their feed, then they've not come to you, you've gone to them and interrupted them, as with most marketing. So how are you getting back to them? How quickly are you getting back to them? Because if you're not back to them within, I always say within a minute, and people kind of think that's ridiculous, but not really. Because if someone's just sitting there, waiting to pick the kids up from school, sitting on the sofa waiting for the kettle to boil, on the toilet, whatever, and they see your ad, they fill it out, bam, they're on to the next thing in the next minute. They've forgotten all about you. So if you're getting back to them 6 hours later when you finish work, or even worse, days later, and you're just sending them a text or something saying, you got in contact a few days ago, are you still interested? You're not going to convert them, are you? So how good is your follow-up system? Is it automated? If it's not automated, have you got someone who can call these leads straight away and can start converting them? You're following up with missed leads. So not everyone's going to respond straight away. It doesn't mean the lead is dead. So if someone doesn't respond first time, are you getting back to them second time, third time? How are you doing it? How are you booking them in? How are you keeping track of everyone? How are you keeping track of all the inquiries, quotes you've put out, leads you've booked, conversion rates, all of these kind of stuff? You can't do it without really good systems. So for me, I use a CRM system, and if you work with me as one of my clients, you know that you get access to this system. The system's amazing. It tracks everything, all your leads, any quotes you send out, your conversion rates, everything basically. And I'm not trying to say you have to use that. There's loads of options out there, but for me, that's what works for me and my clients. But systems work, and they make your business predictable. If you haven't got them, you're really going to struggle to hit those 5 and 10k months. If you have them, winner, much easier, and you'll get to that number much quicker. So the next issue that I come across a lot is cleaners focusing on the wrong services. So if your goal is to hit £10,000 months, and we've done the numbers already a bit, if your average ticket is £1,000 roof, it's obviously much easier to hit £10,000 months. And for me, that's how I hit my £10,000 months, was through roof cleaning mostly. And pretty much anyone else who I know is doing over 10k months, it's roof cleaning is the one that takes them there. That is because it's predictable, it's all year round, it's not seasonal, and obviously it's much higher ticket. Like I said, if it's £1,000 roof, it's only 10 roofs. If your conversion rate's 1 in 10, there's only 100 leads you need into your business each month. So for me, that's an example of a correct service to offer if you want to hit those 10k months. But back to the calculator, I think I did it earlier, but £10,000 by, let's just say 120 for a gutter, it's 83 or 84 jobs that you've got to do. That is a lot of gutters, and that is a lot of leads you need to get in just to get those 83 or 84 customers. And 120 is an average. You can't, there's people doing it for half that, literally. So you can imagine how many jobs you need to hit that £10,000 month. For me, it's the wrong service to be offering. Yes, I get why people offer gutters, but if you're aiming for a six-figure business, you have to have a lot of gutters and maybe even multiple vans to do that comfortably and consistently. So if you're not offering roof cleaning, or like you can do this with pressure washing as well. Like we said earlier about how many leads you need, about 200 if you want to hit 10k months with just driveways or patios at 40 bookings. But pressure washing stops. Pressure washing stops after like September for most people, and gets going again towards the end of February, March. So what are you doing in those months that it's not pressure washing season? How are you going to continue to hit those 10k months? If you just start offering gutters, when pressure washing season finishes, I think you're going to struggle. But if you offer roof cleaning or render cleaning that's much higher ticket, then it's much easier to get there. So for me, focus on the higher ticket jobs in this industry because it's much easier to do and it's much more easier to repeat each month. So if you're not offering roof cleaning and you're just going straight to gutter cleaning after pressure washing season, maybe have a think about that, do your numbers and see if you can make it work, because roof cleaning will get you there much quicker than just offering just pressure washing and then into gutters. So that is a big one, is people not offering the correct services. The last thing that I want to talk about is mindset. And for me, this is a big one. First of all, a key mistake that a lot of people make, and I'm like I said, I'm guilty of most of these at some point, and I was guilty of this one massively. And it's trying to do everything on your own, thinking you have to do everything on your own. And what that does is, one, it burns you out. Two, stretches all your resources because you can't do everything at once. Remember when I first started I was trying to do everything: accounts, marketing, cleaning, anything the business needs to do, getting back to every single quote on my own, ringing every single one, following up with every single one, trying to service the kit on my own, doing all this stuff. It really limits you. I think there's a phrase that I used to use. I used to heard someone say, and I always applied it to me. It was something like, if you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And it's a really good quote, that, because if you're just starting up, go alone. You can get everything done. You make decisions really quickly. You can move really quickly. But there's a limit to how far you can go with that. And I learned that very quickly at the start. I tried to do everything at once. But when you start delegating stuff and sharing it out, for example, if you don't know how to do your marketing and you don't know that you're going to absolutely crush the marketing, outsource it. Yes, it might cost you, but it's going to bring you back because it'll be done correctly. If you go to a marketing agency, they're not hopefully if they're decent, they're not guessing everything and testing everything out. They know it's going to work because they do it. They'll do it for you correctly. So outsourcing it. Get yourself an accountant. If you don't know how to do accounts, do that. For me, getting a mentor was amazing. Really streamlined my business. Yeah, just those three are great examples for their marketing, accounts, servicing your kit. Don't think you have to service everything. Go and take it to a local supplier. They'll do it for you. But my point is, if you delegate things, and if you can just give what needs to be done to the specialist, if you're not a specialist in that area, give it to someone who is, because it takes the stress away. It frees you up to work on your business, and those specialists will bring loads of advice to you, and it will really help your business. And it will take you further than just going alone. So that's a big one. That's a big one in my opinion. Is don't go alone. Don't do it all yourself. If you want to hit the 10k months, you need other people with you. And the next thing I want to talk about as well is probably a bit of fear and overthinking, because it's really easy to do. You might just be comfortable doing 10 driveways a month part time, and that's absolutely fine if you are. But you might find your comfort zone. Maybe you're scared of doing too many drives. You're scared of investing in your marketing that's going to push you. You're scared to hire. You're scared to get a second van on the road. Whatever it is. For me, without getting too deep or cheesy, you do only get one life. And if you've left another industry, or if you've left a job to set this up, and to go all in for a pressure washing business, in my opinion, go all in. Don't just play it safe. If you have the ambition to go and do 10k months and get £100,000 business, you can easily do it in this business if you do things right. But don't get too scared of it. Don't fear it. Embrace the challenge. You might feel a bit nervous trying to grow, or you might feel a bit nervous investing in marketing, or making changes to your business. But once it gets going and everything starts ticking, it's the snowball effect. And once you start hitting, when you hit that first 10k month, the belief that it gives you is crazy. It's like, wow, I can really do this. And then it's just a case of saying, well, why can't I go and hit a £20,000 month? Why can't I get a second van? Why can't I just, if I'm getting 100 leads and this is giving me a £10,000 month, why can't I go and get 200 leads or 300 leads and double my output? I think a lot of cleaners are too scared to do it. And I get why that is, because it's the comfort zones and it's the unknown and it's not believing. But if you're in this industry, and I've said before, if you invest in your marketing, if you know your systems, you know your figures, you're doing all the right things to grow, you're working on your cleaning business, not in it, then there's no reason why you can't hit consistent £10,000 months. And by the way, I know cleaners who are doing way, way more than that each month. And I mean way more. There's nothing to stop you doing it. So don't be scared of it. Embrace it and get out your comfort zone, because you can absolutely make it work. So those are common reasons, in my opinion, why exterior cleaning businesses don't hit regular £5,000 to £10,000 months. Like I said before, if you are not hitting these months, and you don't want to hit them, that's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you do, maybe take some of the things on board that I've just mentioned in this video, because it will really help you to get there quicker. And if you're thinking about just starting up a pressure washing business now, if you avoid some of those mistakes, you'll get there much quicker as well. So hopefully this video has helped you. Hit subscribe if it has. Let me know in the comments if it has helped you, and or if you need any more advice, or if you have any suggestions for any of the videos that might help you as well. Let me know in the comments too. But thanks so much, and I'll see you on the next one.